Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. We will be reviewing the cricket that's played today. Some record-breaking stuff between England and Netherlands. We'll get to that, but first we'll talk about the India versus South Africa 4th T20. The series is tied at 2-2. Musti and me here to do the review for both the games. But Musti, your thoughts on a professional performance again from the Indians?
Yeah, I think the back in the series now, man, it was a very good performance. The last 5 overs of the first innings changed the whole game. The way Dinesh Karthik batted, you mentioned, he's batting on a different pitch. Hardik Pandya as well. I always criticize him, but today he batted really well. It wasn't an easy pitch, and they got India to a more than match winning total, right? And it looked like what was it? 10 overs, 50 runs, 55 runs. It looked like they'll get 130, 140, but it took them to 170. Both of them, you have to give them credit. And even when Pandya got out, Dinesh Karthik kept the momentum going, kept scoring boundaries. And both of them playing the finishing role very well, which is good for India going into that World Cup. And it looks like Dinesh Karthik is slowly cementing his place in this team. And if you look at the bowling performance, outstanding, man. Really, really happy for Avesh Khan. A lot of people wanted to drop him after 1 or 2 games, but this is what we mentioned as well. We discussed this, that you're gonna pick a team like this, you have to back them till the end. If they lose, it's okay, it's a learning experience. But now they're winning, and it's funny that people forget the criticism that they made in the first 2 games. But that's what it is. When you give youngsters chance, they're going to make mistakes. But when you back them, you see the talent in them, you have to keep backing them. Yeah, you can make slight changes here and there, but I was very happy with the way Rahul Dravid hasn't changed the team too much. I think I'll give him credit there. Everyone was saying get Venkatesh Iyer in, get Umran Malik in, get Arshdeep in, which is all well and good. It's not a wrong decision, but it dampens the confidence of the people bowling. Umran Malik and stuff won't be that low on confidence. They'll be striving to get into the team. They're not going to be low on confidence because they didn't get a chance. But these guys, if they get dropped, for a youngster, it becomes a big deal. So I think credit to Rahul Dravid and the management there. And Rishabh Pant, I will applaud him again. I think with the bat, he's performing very poorly. Outside of, you mentioned this, that he has a big problem right now. He's getting out too many times with that kind of delivery over there. But captaincy wise, he's learned a lot in the last 4 games, and he's not winning tosses, but he's winning games now, and his bowling changes were good, field placements are good, I've been very happy with his captaincy.
Yeah, when there's a little something in the pitch, I think the Indian bowlers always shine. I think that's one of the things we've learned. Akshar Patel, I think, always very economical, picking up a wicket here and there. Bhuvi has really rejuvenated himself, and he's probably leading this line very well. I think Harshal Patel last game, Avish Khan this game. Everyone is chipping in with the overs, with the wickets. So it's just beautiful to see. Like, this is a second string bowling lineup. We don't have the likes of Bumrah, we don't have the likes of Shami, but still, the pace bowlers are coming to the party. And even in the batting department, I think the likes of like you said, DK and Pandya are finishing off. And when Rohit and Virat will be back, I think they'll have a little bit more of freedom to play with that kind of the freedom of, if they have that kind of freedom, I think that they perform much better. We saw the pressure of the top three and the finishers not performing well. We saw that in the World Cup that concluded last year, when the finishers were not performing as well as they would have liked. So it's just nice to see that this team is starting to really gel and fix itself together. With that being said, I think they shouldn't get too carried away. We always tell that the Indian cricket team is 1 or 2 losses away from a lot of criticism. But I think that the unit in the players and the coaching staff and everything, I think they have a pretty solid plan, and that's good to see. After a couple of losses, they're still in the game now, and they have a decider in Bangalore, which will be a good batting pitch. So it's going to be a fun encounter to see, and I think this overall series has given us a lot to learn, and it's given, like you said, DK a chance to cement it, and he's doing well. Hardik Pandya will get a captaincy opportunity. Some of these bowlers are doing well to continue to do that in the Ireland series as well. So there's some good things for Indian cricket that are kind of falling in place after a very sluggish start.
Yeah, and I think the key thing is exposure. All these guys are going to be they've exposed against a very good South African bowling lineup. Rabada didn't play today, but you had Nokia, he bowled really well. Maharaj bowled well, and Ngidi bowled really well. I think where they lost it was the Shamsi and Pretorius, a bit too expensive today. Pretorius in particular, even Johnson got hit a bit towards the end. Death bowling was a bit of an issue today. Maybe they're lacking Rabada, that's why. But this was a very good South African team, so good exposure there. Island conditions will be a good exposure. They might not have the strongest team, but swinging conditions is going to be different conditions. So these youngsters will be exposed to different kind of challenges, which is very good. And then after that, you have your West Indies, you have your England tour T20 Tour.
The Asia Cup.
Yeah, and then you have the Asia Cup, which is the biggest test. And I think we'll slowly see of a team getting built. But again, if you have one bad tournament in the Asia Cup, do you drop people? Do you back them? Because in this series, you've already shown that you backed your players and they've rewarded you. But sometimes, they don't perform for 3-4 games. Maybe in Asia Cup, someone is averaging 2-3, but you still back him, because Australia backed Warner, who was averaging like 5 in the IPL. They backed him. Maxwell wasn't performing. They backed him, and they won them the World Cup. So that's a decision that Rahul Dravid will have to make. Either way, us people and fans in particular will criticize if they don't do well. They'll praise if they do well. But at the end of the day, the biggest decision lies with the management and the captain, right? And they just have to go with what they're more comfortable with. And right now, this management looks like they're comfortable backing players. But also it's going to be a headache, right? Avesh Khan and everyone, you're backing him now, but then you might have to drop him for Bumrah, you have to drop him for Shami. So what do you do there? So it's going to be a headache. And but it's a call that the management will have to take.
Yeah, and it's a good headache to have, and I'm pretty sure Avesh Khan and Harshal Patel, if you talk to them also, they'll feel like the likes of Bumrah and Shami have done more for cricket and are more experienced, that they should be given the primary spot, and with them kind of just knocking on the doors and keep performing like
what
this.
will happen there is the pressure will build on particularly, I think, Shami, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, because they were there in the last World Cup and they didn't perform. So if they don't perform again, the lot of criticism will go their way. We already saw what happened last World Cup. So that's, I don't think the youngsters will have a problem. I think the pressure will be on the experience. So how Rahul Dravid handles that, would they like to tinker during a tournament? That's also another thing that the cause for concern, because if India makes one mistake, the whole world is watching. So that's where they have to be a bit careful when making the decision. The best thing about this is that they have enough time in terms of they're playing a lot of T20s, which I like. Yeah. They're going to play in England and Ireland and West Indies and the Asia Cup, and I think they're playing Sri Lanka as well after that. So they have enough time to prepare, and you can watch carefully and then make your decision based on that. And international cricket, like I always say, is different to IPL. Normally they go into a World Cup after an IPL, but now they're going in after playing international games. So I think that will help India.
Absolutely, I think that it's set up for a good few months of cricket, and I think the management has a good headache to have, like I said. So I think moving on to South Africa really quick, I think that they again will be a little bit disappointed, like you said, Shamsi and Pretorius giving away way too many runs after a slow start by Indians. I think they gave it away. Yes, DK played very well, but I think that they would have been upset with that 170, and they really never got on the chase. As soon as Bavuma got injured, really never were able to kind of go and push the strength. Like Klaasen, Van der Dusen, Miller, these guys have scored the big runs, but they were not able to in today's game. They were always behind the 8 ball, never really recovered from there.
Yeah, I think they misread the pitch second time coming, and that's first time it's fine, but this time I think Bavuma made a big mistake at the toss. The ball was too much up and down in the second innings. You saw Bhuvneshwar Kumar, one was rising, hit Bavuma like almost on the face, and then there's one which kept so low just before that. So when you see a pitch like that, that means there is something in it it's very difficult to bat on. It wasn't even like a T20 spinner's paradise or anything like that. It was a very uneven pitch. It was like a fifth day pitch. So that's something that South Africa should learn, make the right decision at the toss. Or it's fine to make mistakes, but I think twice in the same series, that's something that they'll have to watch out for, because their batsmen struggled. They struggled completely on this pitch. I don't blame them fully, but you would like to see more application. But at the same time, like you said, 30-40 runs a bit too much. If they were chasing 140, 130 and they couldn't get it, then criticize their batting a bit more. But yeah, I think their bowlers give them leaked a few runs too many. But still, I felt the batsmen like Miller, Van der Dusen and stuff, once you score a few runs, you score a few boundaries, you need to be there till the end.
Yeah. I think that wraps it up for the India South Africa. The final game, your thoughts on the final game? It's going to be on a belter of a pitch in Bangalore. We know that the pitch is always going to be good. But your thoughts? Would you think my prediction of 3-2 India will be right, or your prediction of 3-2 South Africa? So both of us are still in the game.
Yeah, I think you have more momentum right now because 2 wins.
2 wins.
But at the same time, I heard there is rain around in Bangalore, so I don't know what the scene is. That was last week, but let's see what happens this week.
I can find out and I can let you know more recent.
You have family there, so you can let me know what the rain situation is there. So hopefully we get to see a final. And the best thing is, not the best thing. A big thing is that India have never beaten South Africa in a bilateral series at home. So it's going to be
something
first
to
time
look forward to.
If Rishabh does it, then I want to see some praise for him as but again, it depends on what type of pitch. If you're getting a belter South Africa in it,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
their bowling is better and they can restrict India to a lower score. That doesn't mean 150. That means like if India
190, 200 is still low score
they
in
can,
Bangalore.
even if they make 220, they can restrict them to 200. That's what I mean, right?
Yeah.
So I just feel that the bowling is a tad better. Rabada, hopefully, if he plays, then South Africa will be stronger as well. But at the same time, India have the momentum. They're looking good, and if there's any turn on that wicket, then India are favorites completely going into that game.
Players to watch out for? I know my two.
For that game, I'm gonna go from South Africa. If Rabada is playing, I'll go with him or Nokia. Depending on that, I feel that the bowlers, even if they get hit, one will be key. And from India's point of view,
I'm gonna say Shreyas Iyer.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. It's up to you. But I'm gonna go.
You said you're saying player to watch out for, right?
Yeah,
you're not saying who's gonna hit.
No. Player to watch out for only. But I'm gonna say who I want a player to watch out for from Indian perspective. Yuzi Chahal. He hasn't been there since he's always played. He's always played, and he enjoys the pitch. He flights it up, and he gets the top edges in we've seen it in the past. So Yuzi Chahal, I think, to win it for India. And I think from South African perspective, a little bit more from Quinton de Kock. I think it's starting to see a Quinton de Kock that is a little bit frustrated. I don't know if he's frustrated with the South African setup or what it is. Because even today, he didn't even try to turn back and walk back into the pitch. He just gave up, and I feel like that's not a good sign for a professional sports person. You give it your all. Yes, he was quite confident of not making it back, but at least give it a shot. Maybe Harshal Patel could have thrown it and missed it. You never really know, right? He went and clicked it because Quinton was not even trying. So I feel like you shouldn't do that as a professional sport. You should probably be a little bit more kind of wanting to get back and try to continue. Yes, it was a pretty big mix up. Yes, Pretorius was at fault, but still I think it's Quinton should take a little bit more responsibility as a senior statesman also in this team. Now. Yeah. So I think that wraps it up. I'm going.
I'll just quickly explain. I'll share Sayers just because you called it.
Sorry, I didn't.
You called it. You've been saying this for 6-7 months now. We knew about it, but now it's too clear, man. There's a big problem with fast bowling and short bowling and everything. And Surya Kumar is coming back. A lot of people are coming back. I still feel he might be in the squad, but I think his squad thing is under threat as well. As much as we talked about Pant and stuff, but Shreyas Iyer is having some issues.
You can have only either of Shreyas or Surya. You can't have both
in the squad.
Yeah, I'm saying in the squad. How are you going to have both?
That means you're taking Ishan Kishan.
No, I'm not taking Ishan Kishan.
Dinesh Karthik.
Yeah, I'm taking Dinesh Karthik.
And Pant
as a finisher. And Pant. Yes, and Pant.
Yeah, so you're taking Pant, yeah. But you can do that, right? You can go with.
You can maybe leave Pant and then go with Shreyas.
Yeah. Also. So, but I don't. This guy is like. The thing is, the weakness is Rishabh Pant's form is way worse right now. Yeah. So he gets. If you're looking at form, he's way worse. So you'll say you should drop him first. But the thing is, this man has a big problem. You're going to a place where there's going to be too much bounce.
Exactly, and that's the problem. Absolutely. And I think he can fix it. I think that there is that capability. I think he looks like a very, very classy player when he's comfortable. When he's uncomfortable,
you don't necessarily have to fix the problem. You can avoid it like Suresh Raina did.
Yeah.
But he's not being able to avoid it.
Only one short ball. That's it. You fix that in the next 5, you're still good to go.
Yeah.
But I think he's just uncomfortable, even on the chest side.
He got picked for the England Test series. I cannot believe it. We're gonna pepper him over there.
We're gonna find out very soon.
I was lucky there's no Jofra Archer. Otherwise, game over right away.
I think he's not gonna play though, because Pujara and Vihari will be the 3 and 5, and we know the rest of the team is pretty much sorted there. So.
But yeah,
we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. But that wraps up the Indian game. But I think moving on to the record-breaking game, the man, the myth, Josh Butler. How can you score 170 runs in 60 balls? That's crazy. 162 balls, right? Exactly.
Yeah, 162 and 70 balls.
Sorry, the other way around. 162 and 70 balls.
Right, 231. Livingston, 66 of 22 balls, 6-4-6-6, 300 strike rate.
Bro, he hit 60 runs on boundaries. Only 6 singles.
Yeah,
60 runs in boundaries. That's absolutely insane.
What was your question?
My question was that how are these people doing it?
I have the answer.
Give it to me.
They're in Amsterdam, bro. This wasn't the West Coast, man. That's the one.
Seeing the cricket ball like a basketball.
Look at that, man. This is incredible. 3 centuries. Everyone's striking over 100, and this man.
Except for Jason Roy, 1 run of 7 balls.
I was looking for Jason Roy today in the Surrey game, and I'm like, oh yeah, he was in Amsterdam. But like, I completely forgot that he was there. But yeah, because he didn't perform at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm telling you, this England team is next level. They're revolutionizing white ball cricket. I know they're playing Netherlands is a different thing, but scoring 500 runs against anybody is too much.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's like you're scoring at 175 strike rate of over the 300 balls. That's
Yeah.
insane. That's absolutely insane. You know,
Yeah.
and you started off a little bit slowly. You didn't start off with the most fiery way, you know, like with Jason Roy, 1 of 7, you know, Malan comes in, scores a century at 120, 130 strike rate, which is understandable. And then you have a 230 strike rate, you have 300 strike rate. These guys just take it to the next level. And they fell 2 runs short of a 500, which would have been a miracle score.
And it could have been 500. The 48th, the 49th over, they bowled really well. I think it was, I forgot who it was. He bowled really well in that over. Otherwise, 500 was easy. Yeah. And I'm really, really happy for Phil Salt. I've been following Lancashire very closely, and he's been outstanding for them. And for him to score 122 of 93, I know it's against Holland, but great innings. It'll give him a lot of confidence. He's the next Jason Roy in the making. So if Jason Roy does dip in form, you always have Phil Salt there. I think he should go to the World Cup as a backup opener. That doesn't mean he has to play because you have Bairstow, Butler, this, that. You have too many batsmen. But if they can squeeze him in, I think they can keep him as a backup opener. That's a if, right? Like
thoughts on Ian Morgan as a player? Struggling.
0 of 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's struggling. I think
still a pretty good captain, but player.
His last World Cup, I think he's going to go based on captain. But again,
it's a spot. Such a solid team.
He's eating up a position. And you know, you can tell me why isn't Joe Root going to be in this squad? Why is Eoin Morgan playing? You can tell me that, but Eoin Morgan is there, but just for captaincy.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you can trust someone like a Stokesy to do captaincy. Just bring him on. Do the captaincy on that front.
The thing is, I think it's a very sentimental thing as well. I know that no one will agree with this. Neither, like, even me, like, talking about it, I feel stupid, but it's a sentimental thing. I think because he's revolutionized the white ball game. You know, this McCullum thing, he's the one, like, you know, who got that McCullum idea to England. And now McCullum is the test thing that he's changed English cricket, has Eoin Morgan. And I just feel that maybe it's a sentimental thing, but I don't know. It's not 100% that he's going to play the World Cup. I was surprised to see him today, but hopefully he can get some form because he smashes it. Right? It's not like he's not a Root or a Malan that he's aggressive, but if you're not performing, then it's going to be a problem. The only good thing I can say is now wasting balls. Maybe that's a positive. And England, you can cover him. Aaron Sammy, you know, in the 2016 World Cup, they won the World Cup West Indies. So that's something they can do. I just feel that, yes, you have Stokes there, you have Root there, but Eoin Morgan's captaincy is a different class altogether. So maybe that's the only thing I can think of, but it's hard to defend him if he's going to continue to score like that. It will be hard.
The Lancashire team, your Lancashire team will be missing cover the players, Salt, Livingston, all over here.
They lost today, man. Like, no Phil Salt, no Livingston. Everyone's relying on Tim David now. They're weakened now. But to be fair, all the other teams are also weaker, so you can't really blame. But I'm telling you, this Phil Salt, I've been watching him. He's the next guy to watch out for. Jason Roy type player. He loves playing his shots, very aggressive cricketer, and likes the ball coming out of the bat. And the reason why I'm praising him also is because it's in Australia, so it won't be Indian conditions where he's foreign to. Australian conditions, I think he'll take to it. Even the big bash is not, if I'm not mistaken. So, and bro, they have Alex Hales, James Windsor, not near the England squad.
Then this is.
They have enough players.
Enough and more. I think India and England are the only players who have we're going to fight for places in that.
But the thing is, you see the brand of cricket that India play and England play. The England one, they're not scared of losing, whereas India, they're scared of losing. So that's
because the difference of the way they are treated when they lose also is different.
No, but the thing is, after India, England is the most pressured thing. Like, if you look at if you follow their journalists or you follow their coverage of cricket, it's right up there as India. It's just that maybe they say it more politely.
Yeah,
Right?
that's the thing, and that helps, bro.
But there's heavy criticism on England when they lost in the West Indies. What happened? Joe Root got sacked.
Yeah.
So he stepped down or whatever.
But that was a combination of a few innings. It wasn't like the first thing.
Yeah, and look, in India, you have like people covering T20s, this, that, and everything. But England, from red ball to county to thing, the coverage is huge over there. You open Sky Sports News, it's you have Premier League news going on. Suddenly they'll transfer to cricket. Cricket is huge, especially now in the summer. The focus is on cricket, so they are criticized as well. If you remember 2019 World Cup, India were smooth sailing. It was England who were suffering. Everything they were saying, drop Johnny Bairstow, drop this, drop that. But Owen Morgan continued to play high risk cricket, and they won the World Cup.
Yep, they got lucky. But yeah, I think not much to say about Netherlands' perspective. I think that they just came up against an absolutely fantastic in-form players in Joss and Liam. So I think you should just tip your hat off to them, call it a night, get some rest, and come back with a little bit more hope in the next game.
Yeah, a shout out to Scott Edwards, 72 or 56.
Give it a shot, give it a fight. But they lost by 200 plus runs, so that's just still unfortunate.
I know, but the thing is, I think this was going to be amazing exposure. The best thing about this whole game was it was in Amsterdam. You have a crowd you have people it's a European country. It's not a cricket country. Yes, there's a lot of South Africans there, I'm sure, but it's something very good. I think that's what I really
absolutely like. Yeah, I think the reach of the World Cup, the reach of cricket,
and you have big players playing. You have Josh Butler, who's the best batsman in the world right now, in my opinion.
In white ball cricket.
In white ball cricket, yes. Yeah. In white ball. Red ball is Johnny Bairstow right now.
Johnny boy. But anyway. Yeah. I think it's also nice to see. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but also nice to see that a team is ready in red ball and an equally strong team is playing in the white ball. So that's, I think, a formula that India is also trying to follow. I think that's going to happen eventually.
Yeah, I think India is doing that as well. Like you said, the Ireland series, this series, they're going to eventually do that. Because you're playing too much cricket, you won't be able to survive. I think with the IPL 2.5 month window, I think they're going to basically split the teams. That's what's going to happen. We have to face the fact that franchise cricket is going to take precedence over international cricket. Not right now, but maybe in 10 years.
I think it's already starting slowly, but it's going to be a lot more.
Yeah, so it's good to see that. And Josh Butler, I feel, can play Test cricket. I still feel he has a career there, but he's 31, 32. I think he just wants to focus right now on white ball. Look, again, with England, like India, it's mental pressure as well, right? Maybe he doesn't want to go through that grind again and stuff. So let him be right now. I think let him focus on white ball cricket, and very excited to watch this England team. Doesn't mean they're going to win the World Cup, but they're always a good team to watch. It's a team that will always entertain you, whether they're winning or losing.
Absolutely.
No waste deliveries.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why they can score 498 runs. But I think that wraps it up. It's been a good day of cricket, and more to come in a couple of days. I think with India and South Africa on Sunday. So some cricket to look forward to, and we'll catch you right after that as usual.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. See you then. Take care.
Take care.